Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You are watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 8th of February. India's Uttarakhand state passes landmark civil code during special session. India announces immediate suspension of free movement regime with Myanmar. And Pakistan residents vote amid suspended mobile services, closed land borders. Lawmakers of India's Uttarakhand state on Wednesday passed the Uniform Civil Code Bill and became the first state to do so. The bill, which will become a law once it's cleared by the governor, was a key poll promise of the ruling BJP government during the 2022 assembly elections. Addressing the media after the session, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami expressed joy and said a bill which was long awaited has finally been passed.
ये कानून किसी के विरुद्ध नहीं है, बल्कि ये उन माताओं, बहनों, बेटियों के लिए जिनके जीवन में कई बार कुरीतियों के कारण से, कई बार असमानताओं के कारण से उनको अनेक कष्टों का सामना करना पड़ता था.
Meanwhile, opposition leaders from the Congress party expressed their anger towards the ruling party's law-making procedure, saying it was wrong to pass the bill in a rush. Rooted in the framework of the Indian Constitution, the court puts an end to religious interpretation of laws guiding marriage, divorce, maintenance, inheritance, adoption and succession. In a bid to safeguard the internal security of the nation, India's Interior Minister Amit Shah on Thursday announced immediate suspension of free movement regime between India and Myanmar. In a post on X, Shah said that the aim of demolishing the FMR between both the countries is to preserve the demographic composition of India's northeastern states that share borders with Myanmar. This comes days after Shah's statement that the government has chosen to erect a fence along the entire 1643-kilometer India-Myanmar border. The 1643-long Myanmar border, spanning Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh, currently operates under the FMR, which permits individuals living near the India-Myanmar border to travel 16 km into each other's territories without a visa. Bangladesh Foreign Minister Hassan Mahmood on Wednesday met his Indian counterpart S. Jaishankar and emphasized the importance of maintaining peaceful relations with Myanmar. Mahmood, who is on a 3-day visit to India, said the situation in Myanmar is a worrying factor for both the countries because both the countries share a border with Myanmar. Since mounting a coup against an elected government in 2021, Myanmar's junta is facing its biggest challenge, trying to contain an uprising which has seen allied anti-junta groups backed by a pro-democracy parallel government seize control of several military posts and towns. Moving on, millions of Pakistani on Thursday exercised their right to vote in national elections, ending the uncertainty and speculation of poll delays. Marked with internet suspension and reports of violence, citizens of the South Asian nation remain skeptical about the future. A report.
Ending days of uncertainty and speculations of a delay, polls were held in Pakistan to elect a new government on Thursday. People were seen queuing up to cast their vote amid tight security on streets and outside polling stations. However, many in the country are not hopeful about the result. Muhammad Akram, who has voted in all elections since 1970, says things are worse than ever. We want life to be happy in Pakistan, but we have no hope for the upcoming government, the 70-year-old pensioner said as he casted his ballot.
पहले के हालात बहुत बेहतर थे. पहले एक आदमी कमाता था, पूरी फैमिली खाती थी. बड़े सुकून से, बड़े अच्छा खाना था, हर चीज़ अच्छी थी. अब 10 लोग भी कमा लेना, अब माशी हालात इतने ख़राब हो गए हैं कि आदमी का गुजारा नहीं होता किसी किस्म का भी। हर घर में हर बच्चा कमा भी रहा है, खा भी रहा है, मुलाजम भी है। उसके बाद जो माली हालात हैं, आज इस वक्त बिजली का बिल लगा लें, गैस का बिल लगा लें, पानी का बिल लगा लें, ये अपनी सोच से हद से बढ़ गए हैं।
The Thursday polls also witnessed temporary suspension of mobile phone services and closure of land borders as authorities struggle to maintain law and order during the national election that has been preceded by a surge of militant violence. The election is also being held in the midst of a deep economic crisis and in a highly polarized political environment, with analysts predicting no clear winner of the Thursday polls.
Sri Lanka is hopeful of making progress by next month on 2 delayed wind energy projects, its energy minister said on Wednesday. Talking to Reuters, Energy Minister Kanchana Vijayasekara said in next 4 weeks there could be some results on the energy project negotiation, adding that talks are also being held over the transmission line. The cash-strapped South Asian island nation, which has suffered from crippling power blackouts and fuel shortages, has been trying to speed green power generation to hedge against surges in imported fuel costs. Hydropower, coal-fired plants and oil-based power plants each account for nearly a third of the country's electricity output. The government has committed to not add any new coal-based capacity and aims to produce 70% of its electricity from renewable sources by 2030. Nepal's main opposition party CPM-UML on Wednesday lashed out at the government over its failure to repatriate Nepali nationals recruited from the Russian army. Demanding prompt action, former Foreign Minister Bimala Rai Podel said Nepali citizens are crying amidst the Russia-Ukraine war as they are fighting from both the fronts. Signing up themselves from the army means a Nepali is ready to kill another Nepali, she said. Hundreds of Nepali are believed to be recruited in the Russian army, at least a dozen are confirmed killed, and scores are injured at the time of deployment along the front line of war, prompting the Nepal government to issue warning against travel to Russia. Nepali soldiers called Gurkhas are known for their fighting skills and have been serving the British and Indian armies following an agreement between the three countries. There is no such agreement with Russia or any other countries. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you again same time tomorrow. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.